In 2001, God gave me a new career. I became a teacher, and from the first day of school, God's given me a purpose to fulfill in the lives of some very unique, hurting children and families. Each year, the faces and stories are different, but each year, the pain in some of these little lives is real. As I've invested my life in these kids, God has used me and my small group, because each year, God has never failed to place hurting kids in my classroom. I've had the chance to provide meals, gifts, activities for them to be a part of. We organized a Christmas celebration complete with a delivered and decorated tree, meals, stockings, and gifts to support my student who recently lost her mom to cancer. Many years have been filled with stories like this, God working through us in the lives of students. Then a spunky, independent boy with a rap sheet walked into my classroom. I should have known that he would be God's chosen one that year. But it wasn't until a playground fight and an unsuccessful attempt to call home that I discovered this child wasn't just a child in the foster system. He was a child of the foster system. I began to connect with him immediately and realized that his journey in life had been one filled with hurt and rejection. He was separated from his parents at a young age and was bounced in and out of foster homes and schools. He was angry and had every right to be. Unfortunately, he began to allow his pain and his rap sheet to define him. He had no reason to care, no reason to learn, no reason to trust. But God loved this boy too much to let him stay that way. So did I. That day I made a decision, and I began to advocate for this young man that God had placed in my care. Our journey together was filled with ups and downs. There were court dates, unsuccessful attempts at reunification with birth parents, confusion, abandonment, more foster homes, and more chaos. But it was different now because he had a team, a village of new support. We committed ourselves to provide love, care, protection, and stability for him. We vowed to do whatever it took to see to it that he remained in a stable environment. We prayed a lot, and doors were open for him to remain at my school. My principal became a male mentor for him, and my boy was allowed to stay at our school despite his shifting foster addresses around San Diego. But the story doesn't end there. God has continued to show mercy in his young life. All along the way, God has been up to something amazing. It began with a simple inquiry from a friend that I'd known from Mom's group years earlier. She and her husband were interested in adopting my boy. Years of struggle and fear, a lifetime of rejection and insecurity, but God had something better. Now, my student has a real family. A family that prays together, plays together, laughs together, and handles problems together. He's loved, cared for, protected, and nurtured by a devoted mom and dad. My prayers have been answered. Today he is thriving because of the goodness of God. Christ's plan for him was greater than I could have hoped, asked, or even imagined. God was up to something incredible in my classroom all along, and he had an incredible win in store for me and for my young student. All it took was putting God first, a hurting little boy second, and making the decision to put myself third. God did the rest. My name is Jill. I know there's more opportunities ahead of me, and I can't wait to see what God's got for me just around the corner. I'm living my life on purpose for him. God first, you second, and I am third.